Hey Jerry, what's up? How do you hear me? Blue Ridge Mountains. How do I sound there, Jerry? Give me a thumbs up or something. Okay, cool. Thank you. Appreciate that. I just thought I'd throw one together here real quick. Okay. All right, Jerry. How's everybody doing? Hey, Christina. Doing good. How about yourself? Man, what a crazy day, huh? Like I say, I can keep up with the damn news and all these false flags, and it's crazy. Hey, off the wall. Good to see you. So, has Russia crossed the border yet, or is it just the Russian proxies on the east side of Ukraine fighting the Ukrainian military? What's the deal? I can't tell if they're lobbing missiles or not. Information's all over the place. Yeah, big time off the wall. False flags by whom? That's my question. I mean, I think we may be doing some false flagging of our own here, pushing somebody to do something we don't need to be involved with. Baiting baiting people to make moves and dangerous games. Hmm. I knew that they had been slinging it out over there on the east side, and I was just I'd heard that there were some missiles being launched, and I wasn't sure if we were underway or not. But I do understand that we do have some cyber coming our way if we as soon as we launch the first sanction on anybody. I think that's just about a guarantee. All right, Jerry. I just threw this thing together for just to sort of catch up and see what's going on. I'd scheduled one for tomorrow around noon as well for a different topic, but I just thought I'd throw this together and see what was going on. Hey, little boots, good to see you. I'm sort of out and about all day. I haven't had much time to view anything. I figured it'd be a good time to come on and see what's happening. Hmm. I got you off the wall. Yeah, I kind of feel the same way sometimes. It's it's going to get I think it's just going to keep getting weird for a bit. Gas is going up significantly in my area, around 3.30 a gallon now, which is a pretty good jump from where we've been. Went into Academy today, and shelves are still pretty popping with the lead. Okay, I'll do that off the wall. Been having an estate sale at my grandmother's old house all day. Hey, Bob, good to see you. But man, we keep digging through this house and this garage, and we keep finding all kinds of stuff. Man, it's like crazy. It's true, Jerry. Yeah, we found my great granddad was a sheriff out in West Texas, and I guess he had early in his career he had a shooting, and we found or my uncle found the no bill grand jury paperwork for where they failed to indict him on murder. This is back in the, I guess, the 30s. But just all kinds of cool old stuff like that, that you wish had been talked about when you were little. Found an old I showed some of this stuff the other night, those straight razors and that little lighter that I showed y'all was pulled out of that house too. And then my uncle and cousin found a old card table in the attic, and it was from 1923, a little wooden card table, and it had cigarette burns in the cover and all that. It was pretty cool, pretty nostalgic. 1923. These little bitty round wooden legs, that folded out. It was pretty neat. Huh. Yeah, I think it's just my camera. This camera is not very good on this laptop. Hey, Bill, good to see you. But yeah, it was pretty cool sifting through some of that old stuff. I mean, we found some old hand drills and some old block and tackle and just old stuff that still works great. We just need to lubricate it a little bit, and worked right and good. Just they built stuff good back then. But just all kinds of hand drills and chisels and all kinds of cool hand working tools that you just can't find that good stuff anymore. But it was pretty neat to go through some of that stuff and just see the amount of stuff that he accumulated over the years. It's crazy. So, par for the course, it looks like again we keep needling and daring Putin to act. It seems like to make a move across the border, I guess, is what we keep saying. It's like a broken record. If you do this, we'll do that. I'm quite sure he's fully aware of what we're capable of doing. But I'm just sick and tired of all the rhetoric. NATO leaders and our leader needs to be quiet, just see what happens, I think, at this point. But yeah, all kinds of old cool hand tools, Bill. I mean, there was old the chemicals. Oh my goodness, it's crazy. I mean, everything from I don't even know what some of it was. The labels were so eaten up, you couldn't even read what was in the container. But I fully expect that, hillbilly. I hear you, Bill. Yeah, something she's good at, right? Probably several of them, to be honest. Wouldn't surprise me a bit. But it's just amazing to me that you just look at some of the old furniture and stuff that my grandparents had or still have that we're trying to sell. I mean, the woodworking and the craftsmanship and the quality of the materials is just uncanny. But you don't really appreciate it unless you're over 50, I think, where you knew how they built stuff back then. I don't think the young people today can even tell the difference in cheap or well-made stuff. They were just walking right by it. It's really good condition. It's funny, Jerry, but I don't have room for any of it. So I'm taking what I can take, and all that. But I'm giving away a couple things, to other family members that are in need. But yeah, I mean, it's just we've lost so much quality, and pride in our work here in this country that, of course, farming it all out to the big C didn't help us any. But and you got to really find somebody. You got to go looking to find somebody that can really make good quality handcrafted furniture in this country. And I guess the Amish should probably be the first place to look. I paid $330 today, Bill. I don't know what the average is. It's gone up about 10 cents the last couple of days. I would honestly, seriously expect a massive cyber attack as soon as they go into a offensive posture. If they do choose to do so, I don't think you're even going to know it because you're not going to be able to see anything because it's going to be lights out. They're probably going to take a page out of our playbook, which was you do everything at night. We own the night. We used to own the night. I'm not sure we own the night anymore. Like you're agreed, hillbilly. I was going to go get one of those 15-gallon gas caddies today. It's a roll around plastic gas tank, on wheels with just a little plastic pump. Hey, Mary. And man, they're $150 and it's only 15 gallons. Man, I was like, I'll just go buy two 10-gallon or two 5-gallon cans and call it good. And even the 10-gallon cans were $15 a piece. And yeah, I'm probably sitting on about 40 gallons at home right now. Plus full tanks. All the tanks are full, I'm actually about 45 gallons, I think. Just, jerry can style. I like the portability of them. Exactly, Bill. That's another thing. Yeah, they want to kill cash, but cyber attack incoming, not a great combination. I've been telling people the same thing, Bill. Go, get cash back at the store, hit the ATM a couple, 2 or 3 times a week, not to draw attention and, build it over time. Hopefully people have been doing that. China's just sitting back there laying low. No, what they were doing, but during Ice Mageddon, Bob, last year when we went through all that, there was a couple 7-Elevens that were open, and they would just keep their till open, the register till open, and they would they just had to do it the old-fashioned way, had a calculator out, and were just writing stuff down. Basically, is what they were doing, Bob, which was a whole cluster. If you get my drift. You talking about like the Jet A and all that, Bill. We have straight gas here in some places. Exactly, Annie. It's just going to be dark. That's why me and a lot of other people are saying, don't put off tomorrow what you can do today. Oh, I don't. I don't, Bill. Yeah, I fully expect a massive cyber attack. I think it's going to be ugly too. I'm talking about grid, water treatment, refineries. I mean, you start shutting down water treatment, sewage, you got issues, man. You're talking about disease and all kinds of crazy stuff. Nasty, straight nasty. And I hope people kept, you know, stocking the antibacterial soap too, and maybe even some Hibiclens, because you got, you know, unclean hands all over the place. You're talking about spreading a lot of bad stuff person to person. What do y'all think? Y'all think a cyber attack is going to be imminent? Yeah, you're going to catch me on a plane for a while. That's for damn sure. Oh yeah. Well, they're already doing that, Bob. I think hit and miss. Yeah. Mm. Hey, Alan. Yeah, it's a mess. This whole thing is so screwed up. I mean, it's you just have to be able to. You need to prepare yourself to operate independently of the gov. That's just the way it is. Yep. Dominoes are going to fall, Mary. You're right. Oh, here's what's happening. I mean, to me, it's obvious. I think in the end, Putin's main goal is to, first of all, drive a wedge right down the middle of NATO and likely pull Europe away from us. And they're already doing that. It's basically everybody against us right now, even though it's not so verbalized and, over the top out there in your face. I think this is a massive wedge being driven down the middle of NATO. And he's going to make Europe choose. I have heard about that. Hey, Lewis, good to see you. I have heard about that, Bill. What they're doing up in Canada is absolutely despicable. No, I agree, Jerry. These last minute, these Johnny come latelys are going to really suffer. We're probably all going to suffer at some point, but I think we lessen the pain if we prep. These Johnny come latelys, it's game over for them. Unless they can flip a switch real quick and go rogue and savage and go steal everything and kill, they're not going to have anything. They're going to die. Yeah. Well, I'm almost of the opinion that, and I know there's mixed emotions and feelings on this, but almost of the opinion in Texas, we just need to go ahead and secede and start drilling our own damn oil and be our own nation again and run it out of our own ports. Yeah, the dude's operating. I agree, Bill. The dude is operating like the world is scared of us still, and they're not scared of America anymore. Yeah, exactly, Jerry. Out in the panhandle. Yep. I mean, damn, if we're not going to abide by the Constitution, if we're not going to, allow people to pursue the American dream anymore, then we need to just go ahead and secede. And, those who don't want to be here can be run off. And those who want to be here, will bring them in. I'm tired of this crap. I know it's an unlikely scenario, but it wouldn't hurt my feelings. Like I said before, I think you're gonna, at the end of the day, we may not live to see it, but I think you're gonna end up seeing these freedom zones, where like you'll have a multitude of states grouped together, like maybe Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Missouri, Kansas, so on and so forth. Contiguous states that have reciprocal agreements and all that, so you can freely go between them, and then the borders are locked down the rest of the way. You know. I know what you're talking about, Jerry. It's up in the Panhandle, right? I think it's out in Amarillo, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Bob, I agree with that. I agree with your assessment here. I'll tell you who else ought to do that. The police. Police ought to do a sick out and watch this thing fall apart in 48 hours. Hey, Amber. Yeah, Jerry, Pantex is out somewhere in the Panhandle up by Amarillo, somewhere up there. All right, Bill. See you later, man. But damn, I don't know. I mean, if we're not gonna, if the American dream is over, and if the Constitution is not going to be relied upon, and if people aren't going to follow the Constitution as they swore an oath to do, then what the hell are we involved in this for? And if that's the case, what are we doing? What's going on? If the covenant has been broken and we aren't participants in a free republic as it was intended, what are we doing? How long are we going to participate in something that we didn't really sign up to do? I firmly believe if we didn't have the 2A, we probably would already be candidate times 10 right now. Like I told everybody, you need to get, I know I've said it many times, but a lot of other people have as well. Need to get creative where you keep stuff and store stuff. But yeah, I regarding the whole Ukraine situation, they have been fighting and skirmishing over there for a long time, and these Russian separatists, I'm sure that there's been Russian operators in and out of there for years now, directing and training and advising those skirmishes from their side, and apparently, I guess I heard 2 Ukrainian soldiers got killed today. I don't know if that's true, but that's what I read somewhere. And this, whole farce of this kindergarten, they got, shelled, they call it. I don't know what they shelled it with. It looks like they shelled it with maybe a backhoe or something, punched a hole in the wall. Probably could have done it with a big telephone pole if you wanted to. But I've seen a lot of artillery and a lot of mortar impact and grenades and RPGs and stuff like that. And, that was no high explosive impact. That was not ammunition, in my opinion. That was, there was no scorch marks on anything. There was no crater. I mean, it looked to me like either a wrecking ball or maybe they backed a tank tube through it. I mean, how amateur was that? I don't even think it was a shape charge or anything because there was no HE, no high explosive remnants that I saw. That was totally staged, in my opinion. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you I'm an EOD and explosives expert, but I know what impact from artillery and mortar and other things like that are high explosive look like, and that wasn't it. That was a hole in the wall. I mean, you probably could have done that with a 50 BMG. Yeah, I wasn't impressed with that at all. These stupid media people just run with it. I was definitely not impressed with that. I know you got Zelensky raising hell about why we're not doing more to counter the threat of Russian invasion. Hell, he told us there wasn't an invasion imminent. He got to know what he's talking about. Exactly, Jerry. I mean, geez, man. It was horrible. I mean, what a joke. Always, always politicians dream this stuff up and they're out of their realm, Some rookie CIA guy probably came up with that. Hey, Tim, good to see you. But like I said, my full blown belief is that when they decide to go across the borderline, we're going to catch a pretty good cyber attack. We're going to be in the dark. Everything's going to be jammed, and you're just going to wake up and hear about it later if they want you to. That's what I think. They've had plenty of time to get entrenched and build all kinds of foxholes and fighting positions. And I'm sure that this Russian separatist group has, taken direction from these operators on the Russian side for, like I said, years and months now, and have already got nice fighting positions dug and supplies stored and, forward operating base, FOBs, all that stuff. It's a real mess. We will, Mary. And the price of being woke, and thumping your chest like we do all the time. It's when the game is for keeps, it's really, really dangerous to be so amateurish and unprofessional. And that's exactly what this government and this DOD is being. I'm talking about the brass. Like I said before, I'm a Cold War veteran, and I remember how we kept our mouth shut. We didn't broadcast things. We didn't telegraph things. We just made the enemy wonder what we were doing. And they found out about some of it, through intelligence gathering and espionage, to be honest. But we didn't run our mouth. Now, we didn't have the internet and all that back then, and emails as the way they are now, where stuff's transferred immediately across the globe. But even so, we still practiced OPSEC like crazy, because I was in a nuclear artillery unit, and we had like a 30-second life expectancy, if the balloon were to go up, and we knew how serious it was, and our ass was on the line, and we actually had live nukes and all that. And as part of the drawdown, when the wall came down, they part of the agreement was that all land-based nukes had to be out of Europe, and so our unit deactivated. I don't disagree, Bob. Well, and they're in cahoots with China too. They got got the old band back together. And the NOCOs have been pretty quiet too. But yeah, we're dealing with pros. We're dealing with professionals, and they Russia shut down all their soldiers or their militaries, shut down all their social media during this whole thing. I like that, Mary. Yeah, these people want to talk a good game, and they're tough on the monitor, But yeah, yeah, exactly, hillbilly. They're hanging out in the backstage area, It's going to be too much for us to handle. I can already tell you. Our whole wargaming philosophy for so long was to be able to fight two or simultaneously on two different fronts. I'm not sure we can handle this. That's right. But, keep stacking it. I wouldn't slow down a damn bit. Straight up. And I'm not telling you don't live your life, of course, we never know when it's going to end, only the good Lord knows that. But, and I don't have any doubt, where I'm headed after I pass, but, I want to be as prepared as I can until that happens. Yeah. What's going to be interesting, I think, tell me what you guys and gals think. I think it's going to be interesting with Hillary, trying to wedge herself into this thing, if one of two things. One, will Potato lay down and make a move for her to, you know, you know, waddle on in, or is he going to be pissed off and go, "Who do you think you are, trying to, primary me?" And is he going to, not allow any cover for her? It'll be interesting to see how that thing goes. It's all right, little boots. You can put them in the weeds and then kneecap them as they come in. Watch Home Alone. That kid knew what he was doing. But yeah, as far as keeping the fuel tanks topped off, I'm a half a tank guy. I'll fill it up at half a tank. But now I'm getting to where if it's three-quarters of a tank full, I'm going to fill it back up. Especially if I'm, in town near a gas station, I'm going to go ahead and just fill it up. I'm not saying it doesn't drop below, three-quarters a little bit, probably somewhere between three-quarters and a half. But, I think it's a good habit to be in, just because, a lot of times you're stopping to get something anyway at the store, maybe swing in, just top it off. It's really a habit, is what it is. Plus, if gas keeps going up, you're just paying less for gas. Don't forget, if you store fuel, to get the fuel stabilizers too, the Stay-Bill and others that are out there. I usually run Stay-Bill. I actually ran some during Ice-Mageddon. I had some gas that was 3 years old and it ran fine. Did perfect. No issues. I know, because I dated the tanks. That's what I do when I fill a gas can. I write the date on it with a Sharpie. And I just take a little gas or a lacquer thinner or something and wipe it off when I refill it. Change the date. Yes, wasp and bee spray. Nice. Yeah, it's just I'm pretty well prepared when I go out in my vehicle. My vehicle's pretty well fortified, and outfitted to get done what I need to get done. But I I would definitely have something more than just your CCW, and definitely a long gun of some kind if you can hide it out of plain view and making sure it's secure. It is sad, Bob. You're right. You got that right, Tim. I mean, I think so, little boots. Unless we catch a hot one, we catch a hot one, it's pretty dismal for everybody. Some right, others long term, but you know, I just hope we're not asleep at the switch. Um, I mean, I can only go by my experience in the Army, when I was in during that time, and know that we had a lot of different safeguards in place, and we had good qualified people that were, at the controls with regard to, message encryption and decoding and things like that. And it was a serious thing, and we had real professional soldiers that were doing that stuff. It was like a rotating type duty in like a cage, blue side, red side, all that stuff. Gotta be careful what I say there, but I just hope we're not asleep at the switch. And I worry about the what's the word I'm looking for? Focus and concentration with regard to all the other BS that's going on around the military right now. I worry that they're going to be distracted. I really am. But yeah, I think all we can do is prepare the best we can. And yeah, I agree, little boots. But here's the problem. I agree with you, Bob. I mean, I agree with Trump too. And I don't know that we can. I fear that there's more of the people that adore the stuff the left is doing than don't, unfortunately. I mean, I think it may be 50-50. It's sick. It is really sick. And somewhere along the way, we got too many broken families. We got too many people chasing the dollar. Too many people letting the streets raise their kids. And we have taken America out of the upbringing of kids. It's already going to hell. But it's I know it's going to be painful and it's going to suck for a lot of people. Yes, it will, Jerry. You're right. And it's probably something that needs to happen, quite honestly. A lot of people will call it thinning of the herd, whatever you want to throw at it. But we may need to have some of that, you know, whether it's organic or not. I don't know. Yeah, Mary, I agree. I mean, you probably got 25% that are prepped somewhat. You probably got 25 that don't have time for it, and you got 50 that are totally against it, right? Kind of what I'm thinking. I may be loose with my numbers there, but I think we still just have to keep things simple, because it's easy to get anxiety and get just overwhelmed and beaten down with all the rhetoric and false flags and black swans and all this stuff. It's easy to get thumped over the head enough where you just don't want to hear it anymore and you kind of go into a shell. But I think you keep it simple, keep it simple, right? You just focus on the food groups that you need to work on and that are going to matter: water, food, meds, shelter, security. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that, Jerry. Well, and hell, if you can cripple a country with a cyber attack or an EMP, why even launch any ordnance? And so you can say what you want about 45, but the guy was maybe, off enough where he made the enemy wonder, man, we don't know what this guy will do. We better shut the hell up, sit down and be quiet, walk softly, carry a big stick, right? Yeah. Hey, Roxy, how are you doing? Oh, I've seen you in here before. Welcome. Do I have any mods in here that can drop links? Probably need to add some more. Mary, you're a mod, right? Would you mind dropping some links? Well, I don't mean like off, but I mean I think the other. I don't think he was off. I'm just saying that he broadcasted enough of a persona that made our enemies worry or be unsure of how he might react. And I think that's what we need in a leader. So I'm not saying really he's off. What I'm saying is, um, hey Valerie, I don't know. You may have to resubscribe or something. What I'm saying is, Bob, is that I think it was a good personality trait to broadcast that I may be a little bit trigger happy because it keeps your enemies honest. But I think it's good to keep your enemies off balance. Hey, Rob. But I think you want a leader that you know seems a little bit out there, maybe. I mean, I didn't vote for the Pope. That's right. Never, Bob. Call them out right to their face. Yeah. For those of you that showed up and didn't get a notification, I mean, I just sort of set this thing up on a spontaneous, thing tonight. I've got one scheduled for tomorrow at noon. I threw this one out tonight as well. I've been pretty much out all day. Haven't really paid attention to much. Again tonight. Oh, damn. Wow. Hmm. You get that right, Bob. That's not good. Hey, Southern, good to see you. Yeah, those are ill-equipped planes for defensive measures. I think they may have some flares, but that's the big jetliner, I think, isn't it, Bob, with the dish on the top? Or Jerry, I'm sorry. Yeah, everybody, it's fixing to pop, I think. And okay. It's probably fixing to pop off, y'all. I don't know, what you guys and gals preferences are with communicate alternate communications, but and you may not want any, but there's opportunities out there to get different communication devices, and there's ham and CB and all that stuff too. But I went and got me one of those Spot X satellite communicators. It's a texting device basically. You can either text on the actual unit itself, kind of like a BlackBerry, or you can use it as a Bluetooth, like a booster up to the satellites. So it's basically just messaging, text, email. So if you have, somebody else in your family or mag or your group or whatever, and you guys only have those, you can communicate with each other as long as the satellites work. But they run about, I think they're around 200, $250. But it's made by Global Star, I think. It's called Spot X. And there's other ones you can get too. It's kind of like a BlackBerry, see? And it's real small. It's got a SOS button on it. I've done a video or two on it before. There's some info on it. And they have like subscription plans, $12 a month. Is the lowest, I think, up to $40 or $50 a month. But as long as you have satellites to communicate with, you can go from that device straight to satellite, then back down to phone or email or device to device via satellite. hmm Yeah, Tim. I no, that's a good point. I've had my carry insurance for a long time, especially the legal and the bail. I think it's Texas Law Shield or U.S. Law Shield now. It was Texas Law Shield at first. I think it's evolved into U.S. Law Shield now. But yeah, we're probably getting ready to go hot, and yeah, that's true, Bob. But I figured I want something. besides a phone to be able to communicate with people. And there's other ones that you can get too. Like there's a what's that one that starts with a G? I can't remember off the top of my head. I'm tired, but there's several of them out there that are just boosters, but you have to use Bluetooth with your cell phone. This one here has the capability of operating alone or with a cell phone via Bluetooth. So that's why I picked it, and it was actually cheaper of the 3 or 4 that are out there. But it's called a Spot X. Like I said, there's various different models and modes you can take, go in with and use. But I like it because if you're up in the mountains, if you're a hiker, or if you're on a trip and you get stranded, there's an SOS button on it, and all you have to do is be able to just keep it pretty well straight up in the air and hit the SOS button, and it'll put a pin in and start broadcasting it out to like emergency services, and they'll start looking for you. So it's got some capabilities that are pretty cool. Yeah, they're not the cheapest in the world, but for what you're getting, I think it's a pretty fine deal. It's like a lawyer. Nobody wants one until they need one. Nobody likes them until they need them. I'm sure she's panhandling for cash. She, there's a lot of whack jobs in Israel. Left leaning big time. That's right, hillbilly. Mm-hmm. Damn. So, Jerry, are they saying that they think it was shot down, or did it just go down? Anybody know? Trying to look here on the news right quick. Yeah, it's like we want to make sure that Putin invades Ukraine. So, yeah, I don't like the way this thing's going at all. Ah, okay, Jerry. Yeah, New York Preppers got some stuff up. What a damn mess. All these keyboard warriors, and yeah, I heard that too, Roxy. Moldova is one of them. But yeah, all these keyboard warriors and all these Call of Duty, soldiers. And I hear you, Vigilant. Yeah, everybody's got different opinions, different strokes for different folks, I guess. And I will say, you got to be able to, whatever devices you do plan to use for alternative communications, you have to be able to protect, that's for sure. So the one good thing about this is I can protect it with a couple of blackout bags and a Faraday cage, which is what I do. But it may not matter. It's just, tools in the toolbox. But different strokes for different folks. Like I said, I mean, it depends. Yeah, they are popular. And I've got some pretty decent two-way radios for close stuff, out at the ranch and whatnot. But I mean, yeah, you said everybody has to make their own choices when it comes to that stuff. That's right. You get that right, Jerry. We claim that we have our all our nukes, but EMP proofed. I don't believe that when I see it. While we've been trying to get woke, everybody else has been, upgrading their technology and ratcheting up their posture. And we've been worried about which bathroom to go in. Mm-hmm. You got that right, Jerry. I mean, yeah. I mean, why not? Why fire a shot if you don't need to? Hey, rise and shine. Oh, that sucks. It sucks, rise and shine. Mm-hmm. Any tone. Yeah, I think alternate comms are good, but I think again, with your family, friends, and mags, having a preset plan based on certain things is good too. I still am a firm believer that if it really goes down, your best bet is to hunker down and in your castle, and that's where your stuff is. If you've got a jet, you can jet, but it's all about timing, and you're probably much safer at home than you are on the road. Yeah, same here, Bob. Oh, that's interesting, hillbilly. Rise and shine. What is fuel cost looking like over there? Y'all are by the liter, but what is it going? What is it per liter over there for fuel? What's your fuel situation like over there, Rise and Shine? What's it going for per liter? Oh, okay. So $6, $7 a gallon. Yeah, $8. Okay, yeah. Wow, that sucks. Yeah, I'm pretty lucky. My family out towards the ranch has horses, and I have an aunt that has horses not too far, but um, I have a mountain bike as a backup alternative transportation device. Mm. Yeah, it really sucks, Rise and Shine. Hey, Lisa, good to see you. And don't forget the propane tanks, y'all. If you got grill capabilities, or you need extra heat, you got, gas heaters, you need to get some propane. Keep stacking it. Wow. Yeah, I hear you, Vigilant. Hmm. But yeah, don't. I would take a different food group each week. As long as we can, or maybe even each day. You're not. You're good, Jeff. Don't worry about it. But each day you need to try to top something off that you're low on. Maybe I know it's not easy. Everybody's on a budget, but you know, I don't think with what's coming, I don't think people are going to be able to buy their way out of it or through it. I think you're going to have stuff, and if you don't have stuff, you're just SOL. All right, cool, Jerry. That was good stuff tonight from you, Jerry. I appreciate it. But I need some. If mods would drop some links, that'd be awesome. Some channel links. um, I'm still not up to speed on how to do that. Yeah, Europe has the train system down pretty well, and theirs don't derail like ours do. When I was in Germany, I mean, those trains ran on time and they were efficient. Major form of transportation all over the country. That's good, Roxy. At least you started. Hell, you can do a lot in 6 months if you're really serious about it. That's another thing too. If you have an emergency happen, fill that bathtub up immediately if you got one. Well, you're right about that, Vigilant, for sure. I think you can't you run kerosene in them too? Oh, okay. Well, okay. Yeah. I thought they ran on kerosene as well. I mean, it's crazy. I can walk down the clearance aisle at Walmart every day and find some kind of prep that's on sale. I mean, sometimes there's a bunch of it. Like I had that little fire starter gel stuff in the little bottle, like for 50 cents. They had those little window air seal kits, where you use the hair dryer lay it out and hit it with the hair dryer, and it sucks all the air out of the window. And those were like $1.50 each. There's all kinds of cheap stuff in that Walmart clearance aisle. Yeah, I'm not. Let's see. I'll try it. Oh. Yeah. Maybe somebody else will pop in here. Amber was in here earlier. I guess she jetted. Anyway, maybe somebody else will pop in. But yeah, all these folks in here are pretty regular, seems like. So yeah, please check each other out. I've heard of it. Oh, thanks, Lisa. Hey, Buzz, good to see you. I think 2, Jeff. Usually I have more. I guess people are busy on Saturday night. I kind of just threw this thing together last minute, so I have like 10 mods. There's just not very many of them in here right now. Oh wow, nice, Vigilant, nice. I'll tell you something else. Everybody's always talking about getting fishing gear and stuff for SHTF and preps and this and that. And I know that there's a lot of stuff out there that's not exactly legal, but you can get those little yo-yos, those automatic fishing reels that you can nail to a tree or tie to a tree limb. Those are pretty good, because I'll be honest with you, during SHTF, I'm not giving a rat's ass about any laws. That's the law of the jungle at that point. But those little yo-yo reels are pretty cool, and they're galvanized, and you can leave them out and reset them, and you can have a regular hook in the water here and there in order to catch fish and survive on that too. If you have a body of water close that you can fish, they're called yo-yos is the nickname for them. I think they're just automatic fishing reels. Basically, it's a little reel and it's got a line on it and a hook. You bait it, put it in the water, and then it gets fish strikes it, and it automatically reels it up or keeps pressure on it where they can't get away. You just check it every now and then, every couple times a day, probably. Yeah, I've heard of it, Hillbilly, for sure. That's right, Vigilant. That's right. No rules. It's the rules of the savages, the rules of the streets. You make your own rules. That's how it's going to work. And if it's true, full-blown SHTF, cops ain't coming, people. They're going to be doing their own thing at home with their own families. It's hanging by a thread, that's for sure. I think we all know it. I think it's all just hanging by a thread, and the fulcrum is going to fall and pretty soon. But the popo ain't going to be around to help nobody out of a jam. That's for damn sure. Hell, they're already slow with the calls now. When it goes belly up, they ain't gonna have anything to do with this crap. Well, most of us got them outgunned anyway. I'm not looking for that. I'm just saying, you know, it's a different game here than it is in Canada. Government took their firearms a long time ago, neutered them. Trust the government. We have your best interest at heart. Last words you want to hear is we're from the government and we're here to help. Yeah, right. Yeah, Jeff, I've steadily tried to get a little bit more deliberate with some of this stuff without getting canceled and not without being too radical. Um, exactly, hillbilly. I like that. Hmm. It's easy when one side has all the tools, isn't it? Um, Valerie, can you try that? What Lisa left? Okay, cool. Well, I can tell you right now, for those of you that know about wild hogs, they eat anything, including bones, and they process them quick. So when people talk about only eating the little pigs, you know, from the wild side, you know, there's a reason why we don't eat the big ones, and there's a reason why we typically only eat 80 pounds or less sows if we do it all. And cook the hell out of it. There you go, Valerie. Thank you. Yeah, I may do that, Jeff. You're during the day, man. I'm usually working, but I'll see what I can do. I'll try to get you. Thank you, Lisa. Probably right, Jerry. That's true. Vigilant. All this woke crap, you know, started with trial lawyers threatening to sue. I'm so sick of these clowns, you know, these civil, these civil trial lawyers. I'll add you, Lisa, because you know you try to come in here quite a bit. You're not here all the time, but you do try. I notice. So if you're willing to be a mod, I'll add you. I'm glad to do it. I just you know it's not something I think about all the time. But yeah, I'll definitely add you if you want. um, where was I? But people all worried about, oh, Major League Baseball is locked out. I'm like, who gives a rat's ass, man? There's bigger fish to fry in the world than worried about these hats getting more money and whatnot. I'm so sick of these kneelers wanting special treatment. These clowns got it twisted, man. There's way bigger fish to fry. Because at the end of the day, when SHTF really goes down, it's going to be those that have the stuff that are going to hold the power. That's a fact. Those that have the stuff hold the power. Those that have the skills hold the power. And I don't feel sorry for them. I don't. These guys will get on a plane and fly from town to town, have $50,000-$60,000 card games going on the plane, throwing money around like it's nothing, ATH2. And for those of you that don't have a firearm to knock an animal down to eat, I find that hard to believe, but some people don't. Get yourself a little live trap, a little cage trap, for small game like a rabbit or a squirrel, and they're nice and quiet. They don't cost much. You can get one for about $40. Mail it right to your door. But it's nice and quiet. You don't have to raise any eyebrows. You just set it and check it and have some protein sources. Oh, thanks, Vigilant. I appreciate it. I'll check you out too. Yeah, it's always good to find like-minded patriots. We need to stick together and grow. Yeah, Buzz. Yeah, I used to eat squirrels when I was a kid till I found out they were bushy-tailed rodents. But hey, I'll do what I got to do. They're lean, that's for sure. You got to mix it with some dumplings or something. Sauce it up. I'm going to take a little coffee break. I'll be right back. Y'all keep it going in the chat, please. I found out, if you got some wild game, if you grill the hell out of it and throw some sauce on it, you can gag it down usually. I love venison and, you know, dove and turkey and stuff like that without a problem. Wow, mountain lion. Damn. Yeah, I probably need to do that, Jeff, at some point. Yeah, Buzz, it is, isn't it? Hey, Grace, good to see you. Yeah, one of the biggest things on processing, especially like deer or elk, big game, I guess you would say, is removal of that silver skin. Of course, if you shoot one and it runs a long way, it'll be full of adrenaline too. A lot of times, my granddad, he would marinate those back straps or any type of deer steak in buttermilk, and it would draw a lot of that gaminess out of it too. Yeah, these people got it twisted. I'm telling you, these people think the food just comes from Walmart. I mean that's what they think. You just go to the store and the food just magically appears there. That's what they think. Yeah, Buzz, that's a good one there, man. Because they say this bird flu is about to wipe the chicken population out. You can get yourself some birds and protect them. That's pretty big right there. Me and my brother have been talking about the same thing. He's got the capabilities out where he lives to have some chickens, and we were going to kind of split it 50-50, the cost, to get that up and running. But I'm hoping we can even get them now and it's safe. I don't know. But yeah, people think you just go to the store and that's where the food is. That's where you go to get food is a store. I mean, that's all they know. It's crazy. I mean, people got it so twisted. It's not even funny. It's going to be a real damn shame if this thing really goes, if the balloon really goes up, and it very well could. It's going to be a real damn shame to see the suffering of these people because they didn't think that it was good to be prepared. They were too busy on Facebook and Instagram and Snapchat to do the things. Yeah, the consumers just think that it's always going to be there. They use it up and never replenish it. And I'm one of those people, when I go to the store, whether it's a grocery store or like the the 2A store, I'm very rarely ever going to grab the last box of anything. If there's only one box of 9mm left, I'm not going to get it. I don't want that kind of karma, and I've got enough to where I don't need the last box. And but I've been preparing myself, for years. People just use up everything and never replenish it, thinking that they're just going to be able to go to the store and get it, or somebody will give it to them. And I'm tired of all these people blaming preppers for hoarding and this and that when all it is us taking, taking initiative and. All right, Jeff, be good, man. But These people just think that it's all going to be, it's all just going to be plentiful and bountiful, you know? Hey, Okie, good to see you. I mean, hell, they're already stealing stuff in the parking lots of grocery stores, you know, robbing people for their grocery sacks. Ah, interesting, Jerry. Yeah, or just, yeah, Bob. Or, you know, maybe jump in the shower and wash your behind. Not to be too, you know, direct, but exactly, vigilant, exactly. The lazy always want to blame the prepared, you know, and that's exactly what it is. These people are out busy chasing the dollar, chasing their Facebook, chasing this, chasing that, than doing the things that really matter. And they're going to pay a price for it. You know, to me, it's just insurance. You know, you buy insurance for your vehicle, your home. I know. It's funny. And don't get me wrong, you know, I don't just shop at Wally World. I'll go to Wally World. If I need something other than groceries, I'll usually go to Wally World. If I just need like produce or meat or you know something like that, just groceries, just staples, I'll go to Kroger's usually. Good job, Buzz. Yeah, it's like on that TP they were buying. I'm like, damn, are they eating it? What are they doing with it? Jeez. And we're, you know, in the prepping lifestyle, the community, we're about 6 months ahead of everybody else. That's fact. Go back and just look at the timelines. We've been talking about shortages 6 months before Stato even got it whispered in his ear. I got so many preps that I forget where I hit them. You know, I come up on them every now and then. Well, that's expired. Better throw that away. It's funny, you know, when most preppers start, you know, they just get like a 5 gallon bucket, you know, throw some canned goods in it, and this and that. And then, boy, you just evolve from there. At least I did. Mm. Well, that's going to be a big one right there, Bob. Old can openers. You get the OP38 military ones, man. Get a box of them. Those things will be worth gold. You know, Amber Alert in San Antonio. Mhm. That's right, Vigilant. And don't forget y'all's car maintenance too. I went and got my 25,000 mile oil change Friday just because I had an opening and I went and got it done. That's right, sir. That's right, Buzz. You can get like a whole, or you could before. I'm not sure now, but you could get a whole like quart can of P38 can openers for like $5 like 5 years ago. I'm sure they're way higher now. It's funny, Bob. That's right, Valerie. There you go. Tap to overcome, right, Grace? I hear you, Buzz. Now there are some knockoff P38s you can get from Academy. They're not exactly the military grade ones, but they work. They're metal, but you can get like a 2-pack at Academy for I think $4 or $5. It's a little pricey, but if you need to open a can, they're worth their weight in gold. I went and picked up some more rice and beans, dried beans this weekend, just because I just had a feeling it was bountiful at the store. That's right. It sure does, Vigilant. I've actually been to um, the Swiss Army knife factory and the Victorinox factory in Schwyz, Switzerland, and they have all kinds of stuff. They make garden shears, axes, knives, kitchen utensils. Victorinox makes a bunch of stuff. If you're interested in Victorinox Swiss Army stuff, you can check out their website. They have a lot of stuff you can buy online. Hey, Prep, good to see you. Yeah, Jerry, good call. I will tell you, those Dollar Tree can openers suck, though. They're good for a couple of cans max, and they usually snap on me. I haven't had good luck at all at cheap Chinese metal. I'll tell you what I buy a lot of at Dollar Tree is that antibacterial liquid soap, the big refill bottles. I buy a lot of that there and just stockpile it. Mm. Mm. Damn right. No beans, Bob. You got that right, brother. Good job. No beans in chili, y'all. Just saying. At least Texas chili, no beans. I know that's a big controversy with some people, but I have it on high authority from a famous Texas chef that if you put beans in chili, you're making stew. Yeah, you can use a can of snuff to open a bottle top. Don't get me wrong, beans have their place, but just not in chili. Now, sometimes I'll cook a little rice and put some chili on top of the rice. Maybe cut up some fresh tomatoes and jalapenos. Well, yeah, there's a big there's a cult following out there that think beans go in chili, but in Texas chili, you're not supposed to put beans in it. Just saying. Look it up. I'm pro bean too, just not in my chili. I mean, hey, it's a free country. You can do what you want with regards to your chili making. I'm just telling you, from a Texas guy, native Texan, we typically don't put beans in chili. That's how we know you're a Yankee. No offense. But you can eat your beans. Oh, hell, here we go. All right, Okie J, you're an Okie, but you tell me, do you put beans in your chili? All right, there you go, Okie J. See, Oklahoma's even on board. No beans in chili. It's all good fun. If you want to put beans in your chili, go ahead. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you another thing too that's really good in chili. And chili was supposed to always be just sort of like remnants. It was never supposed to be like made fresh, right? I mean, chili's always sort of been put what's left over in there and make chili. But what I'll tend to do is maybe get like some burnt ends from a brisket or leftover brisket and dice it. It's not good to grind chili meat because you lose a lot of the flavor if you'll dice it and put it in there and let it cook down. It'll taste really good. Get a rope. I remember those commercials. means I'm gonna have to move out. But when I made chili, I want to move out. Oh, good Lord. Put them in a stew. Rise and shine. Look up Texas chili recipe, and I bet you, if it's authentic, it won't have beans in it. Yeah, I've actually done that too. Vigilant. Just leave the beans out. Okay, well you can put beans in your chili, but you're making stew. But you do it your way. Just don't put kippers in it. What? No, chili with beans. You mean to say th2? Yeah. The Jody Dean, who is a famous Texas culinary wizard or whatever, the guy says, if you put beans in chili, you're making stew. Just saying. Now, but the seriously, if you do a brisket or some barbecue, you got some leftover barbecue or something, it's always good to throw in to chili. It just gives it a little bit different texture, and it's just it's a good change of pace from like the Wolf brands and stuff like that you get out of a can. Yeah, yeah, I know, I picked up on what you were doing there, Vigilant. Yeah, New York City, get a rope. Yeah, it was funny. Oh yes, yes, jalapenos for sure. Actually, I found some jalapenos that I'm sure some of you know about. Is they're not hot. They've removed the hot gene out of them. They're called I think they're made by Mazzetta. They do the stuffed olives, but they're not hot um, jalapenos. They're just the flavor, but they're sliced and pickled. But they're called tamed, 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 like tamed from the heat. Yeah, thanks, Brandon. Yeah, brisket chili's good, Roxy. The burnt ends especially. Yes, jalapenos for sure. But I was gonna say you can slice them or just leave them. You can dice the slices, or you can just leave them whole, or whole sliced. They're pretty good. I eat them all the time. Now that I can control my reflux, I eat jalapenos almost all every day or something spicy. It doesn't bother me a bit anymore. Thank God, because I was really missing the flavors. But heartburn was just miserable. But now that I take those mesoprols, man, I haven't had heartburn since. It's crazy. Mm. I saw that, Bob. I typically will just go buy some of those. No, I haven't done that. But try not to use ground chili meat or ground like hamburger in your chili, because that's why you get the soupiness, because it just kind of falls apart and you lose a lot of the flavor. I've always been told to dice up your meat that you want to use in your chili and not grind it. It's just sort of a bad habit that's been out there forever, because people didn't want to do the prep work on their chili, but you want to do like fine diced cubes of meat and let it sort of cook its way through to loosen it up. Something else I learned recently from a Hispanic chef is I like I like corn tortillas, and I'll freeze bread from the store. I'll just bring it home and just throw it in the freezer. But also I like tortillas, and I asked him, can you freeze corn tortillas? And the answer was yes, you can, and they last a long time. And I say corn tortillas, I like flour tortillas too, but corn tortillas are a lot less calories and fattening. Hmm. I do a lot of the grilled jalapenos too, with the bacon wrapped. I'll do if you get the membrane out of that pepper, it'll be a lot less hot. But there's a couple different ways you can do it. I got into the habit where I would cut the stem off of the jalapeno pepper, and then take like an apple core and core it out, so it's just a hollow pepper. And then I would either get a cheese stick and shove in there and wrap it in bacon and grill it that way, or maybe a piece of cheddar, or maybe even stuff it full of cream cheese. All right, Jerry. See you later. Thanks for coming by. Good conversation tonight. Those jalapeno poppers are good grilled. Some people call them armadillo eggs and or whatnot, but um, if you'll cut the back stem off that pepper and core it out with an apple core, get that membrane out, you can get a piece of cheese stick and put in there, and like I said, wrap it with bacon, put a skewer through it or a toothpick, and spice it, however you want. Yeah, that's good stuff. Sorry, Bob. Peanut butter, huh? That's weird. I figured it would just roll out of there being melted, turn into juice. And we do the same thing with our we have dove season. We kill dove. We'll bring them home and do the same thing. We'll get the little dove breast and put a piece of pepper. Either we'll slice on each side of the breast bone and stuff a sliced jalapeno in there and wrap it with bacon and grill it, or we'll just debone the breast and just wrap it same way. I liked it. That sounds good, Grace. Real good. Mm. Yeah, it's all kinds of good ideas out there. You know, we do a lot of grilling down here. And our barbecue in Texas is a little different than most places. At least from my experience. And every place, every region has, I think, good barbecue. Is just a personal preference. But down here in Texas, we hold back on a lot of the sauce. It's mainly just the smoke flavor that we rely on. Whether you're using mesquite, hickory, pecan, apple, or whatever. There's all kinds of different woods. Um, but we typically rely on the smoke flavor for our barbecue down here. Sauce on the side, typically. You get up around KC and Memphis, they like to sauce the hell out of stuff. And that's okay. That's a little too wet for me, I guess you could say. I like it a little less sauced and have it on the side where I can get what I want on it. But I mean, every barbecue is, I would say, good. It's just personal preference on what you like specifically. SOS. Damn, son. Now you're making me hungry. Very good. Very good, Bob. I like that. The boudin is good. Boudin and scrambled eggs, man. That's some good stuff. If you ever had that. Ah, okay. Yeah. Okay. That's good, Grace. It's good to know. Somebody tell her. The it stands for, yeah, which is chipped beef and gravy on a piece of toast or biscuit, maybe. Typically toast. It's comfort food for sure. I know, right? Prepped. Maybe smother it with a fried egg. Covered and smothered, son. No skirt. Well, if you're going to eat barbecue in Texas, you got to stay out of the chains. You got to keys, Spring Creek barbecues and all that. They have good flavor a lot of times, but it's not real Texas barbecue. You got to go to the, you know, hole in the wall place on the side of the road. You know, to me, that's where you typically find the best barbecue. There's a place in Dallas called Cadillac. If you're not in line by 8 or 9 a.m., they're going to sell out by 10:30 or 11. You're not going to get any. And I'm talking about in the morning. And I'll tell you something else I made. I just tried it out one day. Just I think we were sick or something, and I wanted some comfort food. And I said, "Man, this sounds good." And what I did was I made some of that uh, what's that home style instant mashed potatoes, home style I think it's called. And I made some of that, and I scrambled some eggs and mixed it together. Oh my god, it was so good, y'all. It was just like so comforting to eat that cold day or something like that. Hey Danny, good to see you, brother. It's been a while. But yeah, try it sometime. Eagle Lake sausage doesn't sound familiar, Valerie, but I may have. I'll try a bunch of different kinds. There's a place in Abilene, Texas called Joe Allen's Barbecue, and it's in a little adobe building. It kind of in near downtown, next to a big old tractor tire shop. And you would never stop there if you hadn't didn't know the you know how famous it was. And I mean, it's just a rundown little adobe building, and like I said, it's on a corner. You wouldn't ever really stop there unless you knew it was really good food. But when I went in there, I mean, all these presidents had pictures taken in there. I mean, it's like a mainstay. It's something like you got to go there if you go to Abilene, Texas. It's called Joe Allen's Barbecue, and it's one of the best steaks I've ever had in my life. It's like they soak them in salt water or something. They're so delicious. You could really almost just cut it with a fork. It was so good. But if you go to Abilene, Texas, make sure you stop and eat at Joe Allen's Barbecue. There's people that drive from Fort Worth to go eat out there, go eat lunch out there. It's crazy. I do the same thing, Grace. There's another famous place for barbecue down around Austin called Franklin's. Franklin's Barbecue. It's one of those places too. If you're not in line by 8 or 9 a.m., you're not going to get lunch down there around the Colorado River somewhere. Yeah, there's a big Air Force base in Abilene. It's a SAC base, Strategic Air Command base, B-1 bomber base. But yeah, definitely try Joe Allen's Barbecue if you ever go to Abilene, Texas. There's other places to eat too, but um, so good. But there's a bunch of places, all over the country. There's a place in Vegas that I like to go to called Ellis Island. It's a little casino, but they have a restaurant in there that is famous for ribs and barbecue, and it's really really good. I was surprised, and one thing is they just mopped the sauce on it, and that was my first time there. So next time I'll tell them to go easy on the sauce. But the prices were really affordable for Vegas. It was pretty cheap. It's called Ellis Island. It's kind of off the strip a little bit, like a local hangout, but it's pretty good. I've had Cattleman's before. Okay, that's good stuff. Pretty Amber. Yeah, Ellis Island. I think it's good. Just a little. It was a little mopped on thick for me, but next time I'll know. And if anybody goes to Vegas, eating's the worst part of the whole thing. It's so damn expensive. It's ridiculous. First thing we usually do is go to CVS and grab some snacks and take them to the room, and then don't spend us unnecessary money on snacking. It's crazy. Buffets used to be $25. I remember back in the day. Now they're 75 to $100. Yeah, that's true, Valerie. So true. There was a lady in Abilene. I used to live in Abilene. That's how I know all this stuff. But there was a little Mexican restaurant slash little meat market in Abilene off the beaten path, sort of just in a, hey, Sean, good to see you. I do. I do. Clark's over in Tioga. Sean, is that right? Up by the lake? Yep. Yep. I've had it. It's good stuff. Yeah. And there's another place out, Sean. There's another place out, Crossroads there. That Prairie House is pretty good too. Got to watch them. Their prime rib would get fatty on you if you don't watch them. But it's not a bad place to eat. Rabbit tamales. Anyway, what I was going to say is there was a place in Abilene, little Mexican restaurant, and uh, it was pretty close to where I lived. And I went in there one day, and our little ranch was not far from there. And I would go kill, 2 or 3 deer a year. And I would just take her like a whole half of a deer and say, make me some tamales, you keep half, give me half. And she would just give me free tamales because, when they make them, they just make them. They were some of the best tamales I've ever had. Venison tamales were so good. I had to put a little bit of pork fat in there because, deer don't have any fat. It's all lean meat. But if you ever tried venison tamales, try to get somebody to make you some or see if you can find some. You're probably gonna have somebody make them for you, because you might have to donate some venison for them to do it. And don't forget, everybody needs to have some kind of wash tub they can wash clothes in too. If we run out of juice in the water, Number one, you got to have a water collection method. Uh, I've never had Salt Lick. I've heard of it though. Um, but yeah, you gonna have a rain, water collection method and a clothes washing method as well. There's all kinds of YouTube videos on how you can make a little washer out of a 5-gallon bucket with a lid and a stick. And, just hang them up to dry. Fried bread. I've never had fried bread. I'm not saying I wouldn't try it, but bread's going to be a thing of the past when SHTF happens, unless you're a good stocker of those materials and know how to do it. I buy the little corn kits. They're just going to make muffins, little cornbread muffins. That's going to be bread. It's quick and easy. Tamales are a lot of work, Grace. I don't know. I'm sure it's simple. It's just something I've heard of it before. I've just never tried it. Vigilant. Denise, you talking about the stick for the laundry bucket? Well, you want clean clothes, don't you? You'll be down there by the river on a washboard, a tub. Hey, Big Matt, welcome. Don't know that I've caught you here before, but welcome aboard. I gotta get the rolling pin thing on me. I don't know who did that. Hey, if you want clean laundry, that's funny. Yeah, tamales are, man. It's like usually I thought it was like two or three people. I thought it was like two or three people when you made tamales, like like a assembly line, the masa and the other stuff, and then the shuck or the husk. Exactly, Annie. Exactly. Yeah. Hey, look, there's a lot of these preps that I hope to God we never have to implement, but it's nice to have an option if it comes to that. That's all I'm saying. Okay. Don't know what that's all about. But whatever. Yeah, that's a good idea. Or protein shakes, of some kind, protein powders. Hmm. Wow, that's brutal, Valerie. Hmm. Ah, okay. Well, everybody's going to have a job to do during SHTF. I guess they'll just have to be, everybody will have to be a specialist at something to earn their keep. Oh, that's not good. That's funny. Hey, everybody's got to earn their keep now. Everybody's got a job to do. There's no shame in the game. Hell, at least he could look up one of those tubs with the ringer on it so he can ring them through there. Tell them to get the whole 9 yards. Hell, they got these little washers, these little standalone electric washers you can get for apartments that are like it's kind of like a coffee maker. You fill up with water and then plug it in and hit power, and it washes clothes like a small little load. It kind of looks like the size of a waist hamper, or a clothes hamper rather. I don't know you, dude, but I don't like your style, so you're out of here. Yeah, you never know. I mean, it'd be nice to have the option to be able to do that kind of stuff if it comes to, that. But anything manual is going to be huge. Yeah, that's a very good point, Denise. I heard so is it so Denise, you'll know, is it true that they're shutting down the poultry industry in Georgia for the most part with what's going on with the bird flu? Oh, oh wow. Okay, Sean, that's cool. That's good to know. A little closer than I thought. Man, I don't know, Annie. You better like pedal on a bike. Guess it'd be good for exercise. Hey, Lisa. You got to get your own damn chickens, I guess. No, we ordered Wingstop tonight. It was here quick. They had plenty of chicken wings. And also, I'll tell you what, um, everybody's going to have to go on quite the diet if SHTF comes up. You're not going to be able to eat what you've been eating now, or the rate that you've been eating. It's 1 to 2 meals a day max. One of those yolks on across your shoulders, a bucket on each side. So we're all going to go on we're all going to have a diet change. You can believe that. Yeah, Valerie, that's true. There was I stayed at a hotel in Kansas City not too long ago, and they were serving wings, but yeah, it was like pigeon. It was crazy, like pygmies, dwarf birds. Yeah, Valerie's here. Smoky wood. Yeah, that's what they have in East Texas, pine. No good. They do have the thighs now too. Thighs are pretty readily available. You just got to request them. Yeah, we're just spoiled. You're right, Amber. Technology and convenience, you know. And I think there's a lot of people in the world that want to see America have to suffer and go through these things, you know. Uh, a lot of what Putin said, lately. I'm not saying I agree with his methodology or anything, but a lot of the stuff that he says, I having a hard time disagreeing with. Everything from the imperialism and capitalism and this and that. Now, I love capitalism. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying that there's a a thought or a mentality out there that America just hasn't had to suffer enough. But that's because we worked hard and we had to fight and shed a lot of blood to live the way we live. Um, but there's a lot of I think uh, truth to the stuff that he's talking about with regard to us expanding eastward and expanding NATO eastward and all that stuff. I can see his concerns, and we seem to want to just push a conflict, and stoke the flames, and I think it's a bad move. I'm sure Potato's willing to do it at our expense, You can get a little retractable clothesline at Wally World or a camp store, Denise. Retractable. Yeah. Yeah, I hope that HOA comes to my door during SHTF and has the balls to say something. We're going to learn real quick who the new president of the HOA is. Hostile takeover. Man, this is stuff I don't know about at all, Grace. I keep hearing about this stuff. I'm not denying it. I just don't know. That's not my game at all. Hmm. Yeah, right. We do need that, don't we, Denise? Yeah, globalism hurt us. We got fat and happy. Yeah, Lisa, I mean, my HOA, they bully some people, but they haven't messed with me. But I don't really give them a reason to. I don't do anything crazy. I don't go out of my way to go do extra stuff in the yard or anything. I just do the normal stuff, but if they do have a complaint, they can come talk to me about it directly. But they will bully people if they let them. I mean, I do like the fact that people aren't pulling motors in their driveway and parking in the yard and shit like that. I do like that part of it, and there's a community pool and gate upkeep and stuff like that. But for the most part, ours hasn't gotten too out of control. But I've seen the horrors of some others HOAs out there that are pretty messed up. Power trips. Yeah, yeah, we have just say we have a lot of foreigners in our neighborhood and our HOA, and they wanted to form a crime watch, team and committee or whatever you want to call it. And these people wanted to like go on patrol, and I'm like, come on, man. I mean, you guys are snitches on next door. That's what y'all do. You want to be cops. Come on now. So I got out of that real quick. It's all a bunch of drama and power trips. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hear you. TH2 and Okie. I much would prefer that. Would rather prefer that, but this particular. Yeah, Denise. Yeah, I hear you there. Same thing here. But all I was gonna agree to be on it until they wanted to get all load up and let's patrol the neighborhood all night long. I'm like, no, let's just keep our eyes open and approach it as we need to. But I don't get too wrapped up in it. I pretty much just mind my own business and keep my eyes open and watch out. Keep a head on a swivel like most people should. Mm-hmm. You're right, vigilant. Yeah, they should be, Sean. They're going to be SOL when the balloon goes up. It's going to be so shocking. Group me. Yeah, all those lake liberals, Sean, all those high rollers that came down here and bought all that lake property up, trying to have a little ranchettes. That's funny. That's true, Valerie. I got banned from next door. I had a little complaint about people blocking my mailbox on school days and blocking my driveway on school days and kids trampling through my yard twice every day at school and coming from school. And I got banned for that. So bye bye next door. Screw 'em. I'll just become a stay off my lawn guy. That's fine with me too. That's right, Vigilant. most people, in my area, out in the country and stuff, you know, it's like we have the ability to give you some real problems if we want to. But we're not looking for trouble and we don't want any trouble. But if you want some trouble, we'll give you some. My neighborhood's pretty tame. It's a suburb. It's a sort of I'll just call it an affluent area, if you will. I don't feel that way, but there is a lot of people around here that's how they group themselves. But I just live here. But everybody's pretty quiet. That's not a bad thing, Denise. Yeah. That's funny. Well, if you haven't, please like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate it if you would. Hit the thumbs up before you leave. I think I am going to call it a night, and then I'm going to be on at noon tomorrow Central Time, and put some stuff out. Try to catch up on some news. Hopefully, we still have internet. But I would encourage everybody to stay after it and keep filling the holes. Good time to go shopping is, Sunday mornings when there's not a lot of people in the stores. Yeah, Lisa, thank you. And I'll add you as a mod since you agreed to do it. And that'll be good. But all you that showed up for the first time, I think Roxy, you're new. And then several other people. I think Vigilant, you're new to my channel. At least I haven't seen you before that I can remember. There's some others too. Yeah, a bunch, I think. Yeah, several at least are pretty new. But I certainly appreciate you coming in, and we'll keep this thing going as always. Sorry to have popped in on you. Popped in on you. What, Denise? What's up? You bet, Sean. What, Denise? You got something? All right. Well, I appreciate everybody showing up and staying late. Like I said, I'll be on at noon tomorrow Central Time. Have it out there. Hopefully, you can click a reminder. And everybody be blessed and stay after it. Like I said, head on a swivel because you don't know when it's going to hit, but we need to be ready for it best we can. So with that, everybody keep prepping, Stack it deep, and always remember, long live the Republic. Y'all take care now.